In opening statements, the prosecution started by describing who Kristin Smart was, a 19-year-old college student at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, whose life was cut short at the hands of fellow Cal Poly student Paul Flores. Quote, "I expect you to find the defendant Paul Flores guilty of murdering Kristin Smart," end quote, said prosecutor Chris Pervell. Smart was last seen at an off-campus party in May of 1996. The prosecution says Flores was the last to see Smart after attempting to rape her in his dorm room. However, defense attorney Robert Sanger in his opening statement said Flores was at the same party, walked Smart back to her dorm, but that was the last he saw of her.
Without a body, what they're going to have to do is say, look, there's just no dispute. She disappeared.
Sacramento criminal defense attorney Mark Reichel says the prosecution will have to stick to a theory of foul play, which points directly to Paul Flores.
Then they're going to do everything they can to use all of his statements, which contradict themselves over and over and over.
Paul Flores was arrested last year after investigators discovered a soil disturbance the size of a casket and the presence of blood at his father Ruben's home. However, the blood was too degraded to extract a DNA sample. Defense attorney Robert Sanger went on to say the, quote, appropriate test was not conducted for the soil and that there's, quote, nothing here to suggest a burial site.
The defense to say, look, this person is clearly so incompetent in so many ways. There's no way this is the person that could pull off the perfect murder.
This trial is expected to last 4 months through October, with both sides presenting several witnesses for both juries to hear.
And Ty Steele's here now. He interviewed defense attorney Mark Reichel about this case. What did he tell you?
Well, the big question we had is why would two separate trials, two separate juries be happening like this, like the way they are? And Mark says it's all about efficiency.
I mean, you're going to have these witnesses come in one trial, answer all these questions. You know, it's very difficult to sit there on a witness stand. All this work done by witnesses, other officers, evidence from the prosecution brought in, and then to start it all over again and do it for another defendant on really the same circumstances. The courts long ago decided we're going to try everything we can to do this once and just do it right.
We also asked Mark how common it is for a set of trials to be happening in this way, and are there any examples of it before? And there are.
We've seen it a couple times in Sacramento, actually. We've seen it federally here in Sacramento, as a matter of fact. Back to the Lodi terrorism case in 06 or 07, they actually used it in that case for the father and the son. Different charges, but so closely related. Two juries will leave the room that are for when evidence is not relevant to the one they're deciding on. So it's been done a few times in Sacramento as well.
All right, so we've had opening statements today. Ty, how difficult of a case is this going to be for prosecutors to prove without a body?
Right, yeah, Kristin Smart's body has still never been found. That is going to prove a big challenge for the prosecution, but that won't stop them from hammering Paul and Ruben Flores with the circumstantial evidence they do have.
The defense is going to keep saying there's no body, and in this case, it's really hard for the prosecution. There's no scientific evidence. There's no real DNA link to this defendant. So they're going to really come hard about every misstatement he made and ask the jury to ask themselves, why would he lie over and over in different lies about this? There's only one reason. His own mind knew that he was guilty. That's what they're going to say. But it's a tough hill to climb, but I think they're going to get there.
And finally, is it possible that Paul Flores could be acquitted of murder and Ruben Flores could be convicted of an accessory? Listen to this answer.
It is absolutely logically possible, although really bizarre. And these things are bizarre like that. You're going to have two jurors that can't talk to each other in the hallway, you know? So it's possible, highly unlikely.
Yeah, highly unlikely, but still kind of a random possibility there. A lot of witnesses are expected to take the stand throughout the trial. We'll continue following this one very closely in the coming days.
All right, Ty, thank you.
Yep.